Hey crafty friends, it's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana, and I thought I would turn my camera on. I'm working on a craft fair project right now that I'll be doing in November, and here's some that they're not 100% complete, but so this was my prototype, and then I decided to change my stitching and put a little cluster on the front. I sewed them in and put buttons here, and it's just 10 pages, 40 pages, front and back. Just a super simple, but really pretty because I used Edith Holden book pages for the front and back and the inside covers. So I feel like those turned out really well. I don't have a lot in them. I think I figured it up that I have $3 per journal in actual materials. So really inexpensive. But I'm going to keep sewing in signatures. This is a mass make for me. I will end up lightly decorating these. Like this one, I still need to make clusters to put on the front, but I haven't made it to that step yet. But I'll lightly decorate these, and this will be one of the collections I have at my craft show that I'll be doing the first week in November in the area I live in. So I just thought I would bring you guys along. If you guys would like to see from start to finish how I made this and how one of the really cool things is I used one Edith Holden book and made 13 journals out of just one Edith Holden book. And that gives me my front, back cover, inside and out, and then one folio within the book here as well to tie it all in. And then I've got a few, very, very few pages left over that I'll be able to use as I make some embellishments and ephemera to lightly decorate these. So I thought that was kind of cool. And it's the Edith Holden book I used was a gift I got for my birthday or Mother's Day. I can't remember. And it's a new printing of it, but like it was printed recently is my point. I know these are a lot of people like the ones from the 70s, but you can buy a recent printing of it and they look identical. And for the purpose of keeping the costs down on this project, I used a reproduction. But yeah, I'm going to make this this one I kind of messed up when I was doing my steps because I accidentally thought, because when I mass produce, I do like a step at a time after I get my prototype done. So I put the lace on here before I should have. So on this one, you're going to see the tie for the signature where it's hidden with the lace, but it's not that noticeable. And I only accidentally did that to two of them, so I'm not that worried about it. It'll be fine. It will be fine. But I really enjoy mass making journals and ephemera. It's probably one of my favorite things that I actually do. I don't know, it's just so relaxing when you actually are working on them. I find it super relaxing. We'll do another one here that's not already got the lace on it so you guys can get a feel for how I put that lace on and stuff. Okay, on this one, got some buttons here I want to pull from. That's kind of pretty. Could do that one. And maybe that one's not horrible. don't hate that. I think we'll just go with it and not overthink it. All right. So my last video that you guys saw, I think this will be the one after that. I was talking about junk journal squirreling and how, so I've been working on the country fair journal and I have really lost interest in it. I know I'm not the only one this happens to when they're junk journaling, and if I wasn't filming the progress on that, I would just set it to the side and come back to it. But since I'm filming, I'm going to be hopefully filming at least 1 or 2 more embellishments, and then I need to dress the journal and show you guys a flip through. But I've really been enjoying this project. I've worked on it. This is day 3, and I've gotten a lot accomplished. It's amazing when you like do a production line, mass making, how much you can get done. Now, I've done this craft fair in the past, and I always get invited back every year, but last year I did not do it because I didn't think I'd be able to do the craft fair and YouTube at the same time. I thought I had my hands pretty full. That was before Mom passed away, and I was doing multiple journals each month and all of that. So I just didn't feel like I had the time. But now that I've gone back to doing like 1 journal a month, but having a theme, I feel like I can definitely do it. And I'm thinking this is a good way of sharing here locally about my YouTube channel and maybe getting more subscribers that way. Oh, that might be too big of a button. I'm not sure I'm in love with that, but we'll see. I can always change the buttons after the fact. But anyway, I will be doing that to like spread the word about my channel a little bit, is my plan. Right. Yeah, one thing I'm excited about when I started making these, I'm using, the envelope I'm using is envelopes I basically harvest for free because one of my jobs is I open the mail at work, and I get these envelopes, and a lot of the mail that I open, and it allows me, I use them a lot in doing one signature journals. I've used them a lot. I have a lot in my stash. I just save them when I get them. I also have cut them down to do like mini journals, things like that. So I don't have a cost there, which is nice. And then the Edith Holden book, like I said, was a gift. So I am like kind of counting that in the cost, because if I ended up doing more of these, obviously I'd be out the cost of the book. But then I have my pages here for the signature. And I had these in my stash. And one of the things though, like I'm super excited about, I bought this waxed thread at Hobby Lobby a while back. And I didn't realize, I guess, exactly what I was getting, but I don't really care that much for it. So I haven't been using it, but it works out perfect for this. And I'll be able to use it up that way. So that's sort of things I think about when I'm doing these mass make journals. I'm trying to use up supplies that maybe I'm not crazy about or I have a lot of. So, and then also really keeping in mind how I can keep my costs down. Now I'm also going to do, it's the first weekend in November, so I'm thinking people are going to be wanting, you know, the very tail end of fall. We're looking at Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So I thought this Edith Edith Holden theme would be perfect for that. And then I'm going to do a collection of Christmas journals, and I haven't quite figured that part out yet. I haven't done my prototype for those. I know what material I'll be using for them. So I just have to figure out how I want my covers to look. Those are going to be cloth, and I'm going to actually use felt to pad the lining of the envelope to make them look a little more plush. And they'll be a little bit more expensive than these here. These are going to be the cheapest journal, the cheaper journal. And then I'll also bring some one-off journals that I'll sell for more than obviously a single signature journal. But I'm sorry if I keep bumping the camera. But yeah, I'm kind of like really excited about it. I think it'll be a good way to get my channel name out there and maybe get some more traffic on my channel. So this is the only craft show I do. It's indoors. It's really nice. It's by invitation only. And you have to show the products that you're going to be doing before. I don't, because I've done it enough that they know what my product is. And so I don't have to like quote, quote, prove myself. But if you're new, you do. So I'm curious, have any of you guys done craft fairs and things like that? I will say the downside of doing craft fairs is you certainly do not get as much for your journals as you would if you sold them like on Etsy and things like that. You just don't. And then, but other than that, I mean, I feel like it's still more than worth it. It's a good way to get your name out there and stuff like that. I just think you have to look and see what works best for you. When I was doing the larger volume on my channel and selling journals that way, it just wasn't something I could fit in. But now that I'm not doing as much like that, I can do it again. And I like, right now, I'm just amazed at how much shipping is. And so I really like that when you do in-person sales, you're not out the cost of shipping. I've also thought about, we've got a new thrift store that opened here in town. I tried to film thrifting there, but they play their music so loud that I would have to probably film and then do like a voiceover, I think. But thought about getting small, like you can get a full booth, but you can get smaller areas as well. I thought about doing that as well. You know, there's a few people that are here on YouTube that do booths and have a lot of success with that. But as a junk journaler, you cannot, like, I enjoy doing this mask making. It is fun to me. I just really enjoy it. But obviously I can't keep everything I make when I do stuff like this. So I have to have a way of moving it out of my house. So your options are gift it or sell it. And I think I'm going to explore maybe doing the booth rental, but also do the one craft fair a year as well. So we're getting close on this, and I wanted to show you guys though how I'm putting the lace on too. And again, if you'd like a full tutorial of how I make this journal, just let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to. I have a ton of Edith Holden books, so it would give me an excuse to make more of these to sell. I was just going to do these 13, but if you guys want to see a tutorial, I'd be happy to do that for sure. Okay, let's do the glue now. Yeah, I have got to get my mojo back with the County Fair Journal. My goodness, I hate when that happens, when you get almost through with a project and all of a sudden you don't love it anymore. I mean, I like how the journal looks and all the things, but definitely am not excited about it anymore, and that makes it really hard to work on it. I'm curious, have you guys had that happen with your projects? Now, normally you can just set them to the side and you may or may not come back to them, I know, but with filming, like I said, you really have to stick with it, and that's kind of a good thing because it forces you to finish stuff. And honestly, it's one of the reasons I have a YouTube channel, because I will say I do a lot more finished journals because I have a YouTube channel than what I would do otherwise. So in that sense, it's a good thing. But when you're struggling a little bit to stay motivated in a project, I don't know what the lesson is there that I need to learn, but I'd say there's one I need to learn. Everybody I think loves Edith Holden. I just think her books are so beautiful. And they're right there in that theme of nature. That's probably my favorite. This theme is my favorite theme to do, for sure. This and like adding in a little bit of Tim Holtz. Those both really love that. All right, I'm almost finished here with the video. I don't know if this is something you've enjoyed watching or not. I'd love that feedback too. With not being able to do lives right now, it's hard that I don't get to like connect with you guys in real time. I wish that I was able to do that right now. But yeah, you'll have to let me know. Do you enjoy me jumping on and uploading a video that's maybe off theme from what I've been working on every so often, or within a themed month, do a video or two where I'm doing something other than that theme, that sort of thing? I'd love to hear that feedback. All right, guys, that's really what I was hopping on to show you. It got me motivated to come over here and sew in some more signatures. But let me know if you'd like to see a tutorial on how to make the entire journal from start to finish. I'd be happy to show that. These are super, super easy to make. And one thing, I'm using envelopes, like I said, that I have in stash that I get for free. But if you buy the 9x13 envelopes, whether you get them at Dollar Tree, Walmart, wherever, that are already the manila color, that would make these even easier. I actually inked around these to get this color, but definitely like how they turned out, and I like that I don't have a whole lot in them. So I think I have like $3 in them. I'll have to double check my supply cost, but then I'll times that out by 5 and sell these for like $15, and they'll have 3 to 5 embellishments. I haven't decided if I'll do like one at the front, the back, and in the center, or if I'll do 5 and add like a in-between one too. I haven't quite decided, but I hope, my plan is, by having a super inexpensive journal like this, it'll encourage a lot of people, because in my area, like, people don't even know what junk journaling is, and they're like, well, what do you do with that? So hopefully it will encourage them to want to try it, and seeing that I have a channel where I show junk journaling and stuff like that, that'll encourage them as well. All right, guys, don't forget to keep it cute, keep it crafty, and keep making something out of nothing. Bye.